God is so good.
Going strong, yeah, I've been moving mountains. Circle tight and ain't no way around it. Other shorties mad, I got them pouting.
Everybody else getting up to no good.
Why were you vlogging me?
Hmm?
Why were you vlogging me?
I just started vlogging you. Where we at?
The trails!
Do you remember this one though?
What is this one?
When's the last time we came to this one?
Last year.
Year before last.
2 years ago, and this is the one that has the beach.
And what happened the last time I was here?
I don't know.
Right after I was sick. And I got really, really skinny. And we came out here, me and you.
Oh, yeah.
To try to make me feel better.
What's up? We're out. I'm out the car, but she's still in the car. I'm about to get my jacket on, so yeah, and I'll get the camera like doing when we're jogging or walking in the sand. Well, see you later, alligator.
Just pulled up to the house. Don't feel like getting out. I'ma just lay back and crack this window. I've been doing my best, taking a moment to rest, feeling stressed out. Give it a good.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to You Know the Vibes. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're here, go ahead and type in the chat, I'm here. Vocals are not given. But yeah, y'all, oh my gosh. Shout out to all the new subscribers. You know, if you're not already subscribed, make sure you hit the subscribe button, okay? And press the post bell notifications so you can get notified whenever I drop a new video. I try to film this at, I don't know if I'm gonna post a clip, y'all, where I was at the nature trails and it was windy, it was cold. Me and Ava was out there thugging it, but y'all, it was just too windy. Then my camera started to die and I just took that as a sign from God to do the video at home. Even though it's getting dark outside, hopefully the lighting isn't terrible for y'all and it's giving what it's supposed to give. If not, I'm sorry. But I have to get this video done while it's on my chest because I really feel like this video is literally from the spirit. So I have a couple notes that I literally wrote when I got out the shower because it just really came down on me in the shower. I washed my hair, did a little self-care, and I was just like, I don't know. Like, I now started listening to this new playlist. I follow like a lot of faith-based, you know, motivational, faith-based, Christian content on Instagram, and I love that because I'm like low-key just taking out all the stuff that no longer really serves me any purpose, all the negative stuff, or just like, I don't like to sound bad, but like worldly stuff, like stuff that I'm just not trying to concern myself with. I'm cleaning out my Instagram, you know, and I'm following a lot more motivational things. Anyways, this girl, I can't think of her name right now, but I might go back and find it so I can pop it up on the channel for y'all so y'all can follow her. But she dropped a R&B and Jesus playlist, and I love R&B. I'll have some videos where I'm filming it in the nature. That's like one of my goals, just to be in God's creation and filming. Like, it's just, I don't know, it's just something like I can't explain it. It's just something about being in the world and the creation that God created while I'm talking from the spirit, if that makes sense. Like, while I'm talking about the things that he's helped me with and, you know, the things he can help you guys with, and just talking about like everything's a testimony pretty much, you know what I'm saying? So anyways, okay, let's track back. I was listening to the playlist while I was in the shower. It's my first time listening to it, and it's just like one of the songs just really hit me. If I can remember the name of the song, I don't know. And it just, sometimes, like, even when I'm at church and during praise and worship, God will take me back to like one of my most vulnerable states. And I think I said that in the video on here before, on another video on this faith-based playlist. And I was just talking about how he'll bring me back to a place like what was really dark for me, and I was just really lost. And it's like God will literally place y'all in predicaments, place us in situations to where it's like we're so down to the ground. And it's like, because I didn't grow up like in faith and in church and all this stuff, I didn't grow up having a relationship with God. I wasn't even thinking like to talk to God or any of that. Like I literally had to have my friend, which is all in my testimony video, come to me, like repeatedly sending me scriptures, you know what I'm saying? Come to me and let me know God is waiting on me. He's just waiting there, you know what I'm saying? Waiting for me to reach out to him basically and, you know, accept him as my Lord and Savior. Sometimes God will allow bad things or evil or whatever, you know, to happen so it can bring you closer to him. You know, it's a part of the testimony. He will pull you out of something very, very dark and bring you into the light, almost where you have no choice but to turn to him. I feel like everybody's going to get to that breaking point. Everybody will have their encounter with Christ. It's all at different times in our life. There's not a certain age it's going to happen. It's not like, oh, if it doesn't happen by 30, then it's not going to happen. You know, God doesn't love me. God hates. Like, no, you are loved. Like, God loves y'all so much. If only you knew how much he loves you. Like, it's just crazy. Like, I'm getting excited. Let me calm down. But anyways, this video is just about how God really changed my life. And I'm not talking like kind of, sort of, maybe, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about how God really changed my life, y'all. And how like, even though everything's not perfect in my life, like I'm not saying I'm just like drowned in all the blessings I could have ever imagined right now. And everything's going how I planned. Like that's not the case. But it's the fact that I could come from being in a bad spot last week and like trying to consider, like reconsider everything. Like, am I moving the right direction? Like, was this worth it? Should I have done this? I poured so much time into this and my YouTube and this and that. And it's like, calm down. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're doing something in his will and God is in the midst and he's in your plans, it's gonna work out. You just have to have faith and don't give up. I'm just talking about how God really changed my life. I just keep going on and on because I'm getting excited. So basically, y'all, I just had like a big breakdown session in the shower, and he'll put you in these moments sometimes and just almost force you to remember like the little blessings. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they're not like little, it's big, but when your day is so busy and we get caught up in the world, and the world not necessarily is always bad. It's just like family, work, this, that. You know what I'm saying? The things that we have to take care of in life. And it's like something bad might happen, or we just get so busy and we just forget to remember where God took us from and how dark something was, or how dark a moment was, and how he pulled us out of that. You know what I'm saying? And how the day we have today might not be the best day, but it's most likely better than the day we had once upon a time in our darkest moment. You know what I'm saying? So that's just always something to remember. So I'm in the shower, and I don't know if you guys know, but I've been tapering off my medicine. If you go look at my mental health testimony, I don't really want to drag this story out. You guys can go watch that video. I have plenty of videos where I already talk about this. Catch up if you can, and then come back to this video. That will be the best, so you have a major background story detailed and everything. Or you can watch this one through and then go back to those and then piece it all together, whatever makes it easier for you. Basically, you know, I was going through mental stuff. They said that I have generalized anxiety disorder, bipolar disorder, depression, craziness. Generalizing anxiety disorder, you have anxiety about a lot of different things. You know, there's different levels to it. Some things are more severe, some things are not as severe for other people. But anyways, I was dealing with anxiety. It was really bad. Like, I couldn't work out. I was like in major sweats when I was in public. It was hard, and it caused me to low-key kind of be in like a depression as well. I also had like a manic episode and had all this energy, barely could sleep. My thoughts were just going crazy, like trying to do a million things at once, just scatterbrained. It was just crazy. You know, but like I said, watch the mental health video and I break it all down, the definitions of everything and everything. Anyways, they said I got anxiety disorder, that I started going to therapy, trying to get help. The first time I went to go get help, I was sitting on the monitor at the hospital, at the emergency room, just trying to figure out what was wrong with me, rule out anything physical, just so I can go ahead and say, this is definitely mental illness kicking in. You know what I'm saying? Because we have mental illness on both sides of my family, mother's side and father's side. It gets really deep, you know what I'm saying? And I was just 26, and I'm like, I just couldn't believe that this was really about to be triggering in me right now. Like, I am triggered. Like, something's triggering in me, you know, and now I have to deal with this mental stuff that I now have, you know, passed down in my family line or whatever. I'm sitting at the hospital, resting rate of 100, resting heart rate of 100. When I tell y'all now, and I wasn't on any medication or anything, But I'm just gonna compare that to today. I checked my heart rate the other day and I'm resting in like in the 60s. Like, this is something small to some people, but to have a heart rate resting in 60s versus 100, that is anxiety, you guys. Like, if it's nothing physical, if they rule out all the physical, that is anxiety, and that is severe because I love to work out. You know, I love to get on the plane if I can. I love to go to the amusement park. I had anxiety about all these things, like even working out. I couldn't even work out because my heart would beat so fast on my chest where I almost felt like I was gonna have a heart attack. It's just insane to me. So anyways, because of the things I couldn't do and me being like handicapped, but being able to do certain things in a sense, I started to fall into a depression. You know, had dark thoughts and just overthinking about my life, like how my life is just totally different now. Like I can't do anything that I ever wanted to do. Like my life is not over, but I just also felt out of my body. I didn't feel like myself, y'all. It wasn't good, you know. Basically, you know, it got really dark. I had to start having help taking care of Ava just because like I started being sad and depressed. My dad was helping me out a lot. I talk about this in my video, my mental health testimony part 1 and 2. And it was bad, y'all. It was real bad. So I ended up going and getting some medicine because it got real dark, like real dark. Like didn't want to be here dark, but never had the audacity or never had the courage to, I want to say courage because that's the wrong word. Never had the actual energy. Y'all know what depression's like. You know what dark thoughts are like. When dark thoughts constantly seep in your head, evil things, darkness. Like I'm dropping my kid off to school or something like that, and I'm thinking worst case scenario is gonna happen today at school. Like it's just dark, like how things would just switch from that, like that quick. Everything's dark. And it was something hard to deal with and live with, but I never had like the actual feeling where like, okay, I'm gonna do this. Well, I did have a feeling where I'm like, I'm gonna do this, but I don't think I would have actually done it. It just always never been in me to do that. But it got real dark where I could barely take care of my kid because I'm crying. I don't want her to see me like this. It's just I have a child to raise, Anyways, went to go get medicine, seeked help. I was already doing the therapy. I was trying natural medicine first, didn't work. It worked for like a day or two. Then the depression got worse. Anyways, I went and got help. I got on the medicine, and long story short, been taking that medicine for like a year, right, guys? And I've been wanting to kind of like take a break on it and just see, you know, because God healed me of panic attacks. I talk about that in my video. I have not had a panic attack triggering me since I had the coronavirus in January of last year, 2022. And even on the medicine, I would get panic attacks. So the medicine wasn't stopping my panic attacks. The medicine's not some magic pill. I was on Seroquel. It's not some magic pill where it just takes away everything from you. It can help things and it allows things not to be as heightened, okay? So that's what it was doing for me. Yeah, no. So I was still getting panic attacks even on the medicine, but when I tell y'all I got saved and when I was reborn, never had panic attacks again. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm healed from panic attacks. Do I have a full healing though? I want to add to my testimony. Do I have a full healing? I kept wanting to do this, and you know, a lot of people were scared, a lot of people in my family, coming from a good place, you know, just scared because they know how offset my mind was and my brain was once upon a time. And you know, during that dark moment when I got Baker Act and all that stuff, and they were just scared for me, you know what I'm saying? So it was just them coming from like a kind-hearted place, you know, just worried about me. And they're just kind of like, you know, well, you know, stay on the medicine for a little bit longer. You know, I had to get back on my meds when I got the psych ward, saying stay on the medicine a little bit longer, and then, you know, just test it out later on when you get more stabilized. Made sense. I kept, you know, just wondering, I want to see if I got a full healing. I want to see if I got a full healing. And God is so good because I do have a full healing. Because in November, I don't know if I told you guys this already. If not, I'm going to repeat it again. I was working out and I was like, you know, trying to ask my dad, when's a good time for me to taper out my medicine where you can help me with Ava if I need it, if I have an episode or something like that. He's like, you know, in the winter time's a good time. So I was thinking, okay, after the holidays, I'll do it because I don't want any hiccups on my birthday's in December. You know, I don't want no hiccups during my birthday, Christmas, Thanksgiving, New Year's. I don't want to have no episode during this family time. Anyways, the holidays. I was working out though, and it was like the last week of November, and I heard God tell me like, don't you trust me? Like, why are you waiting? It's almost like I was scared to do it, and he didn't want me to have fear because it's like, if you trust me and this keeps coming in your mind and you want to do this and you want to see if I've truly healed you from everything mentally, you know what I'm saying? Then why don't you try to do it now? Why are you waiting? And I'm so glad he told me this. And it's so funny because it was the same night I started my new beginnings class at church. That's what it's called. And it was almost like it was a new beginning for me because I was coming off my medicine. And if anybody knows me, I try to keep being on medicine in the back of my head. Like, you know, this is just a part of my life right now, you know. But sometimes I would get really deep into it and I'd be like, dang, like, I need medicine to be normal. Like, that's not a good feeling to feel like you need medicine to be normal. Like, and there's nothing wrong with medicine because, like, that's what it's here for, to help us. You know, I just didn't want to be on medicine long term. I'm on the medicine for a year and I'm like, you know, it's been a year. I want to see if I'm healed. You know, I've been saved. You know, God is a healing God. Jesus healed. He did miracles. He still does that today. Long story short, I know I'm going in. But anyways, so God has definitely gave me a full healing because I started tapering off the medicine first week of November. It's now January the 23rd. So it's been almost 2 months and I stopped taking the medicine completely about a week and a half ago. And I was like, well, how long does it take to get out my system? Da 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 da. So I looked it up and it's like, it only has like a 12-hour lifespan or something. So like at the max a week, you know, to get out your system. So it's just like, wow, like, girl, your heart rate is 60 something. Like, you have a full healing. Because the anxiety I had, it wasn't like a scenario anxiety. Like, oh, I'm in public, so now I'm nervous and I'm sweating and this. Because that was happening to me too. And I knew that was weird because that never happened to me before. I always had like a little social anxiety about me, but I never was nervous to like go in public. Like, because I would put myself in my own little bubble in public. Like, that's how I was. So I wasn't scared of that. But to just know that, like, okay, I can work out. Like, I'm working out, checking my heart rate. Like, okay, we're good. Like, heart rate's not tripping. Like, I can work out. I can do this. I can do that. I can cry and I hyperventilate. Like, I'm loving my life. Like, bro, I was just thinking about this stuff in the shower and I'm like, God is so good. Like, accept Christ as your Lord. And if you are going through anything, you haven't already accepted Christ, this is your sign. Like, I'm not gonna force you to do anything, but like, I promise you life is so much better on this side. It might seem hard to give up the worldly things, you know, it's hard to try to stay out of sin and stuff, but you pray, you fast, seek mental advisors, you know what I'm saying? Like, you guys, it's so worth it, you know what I'm saying? And angels will just be rejoicing in heaven when you decide to make that decision. I know everything will always work out for my good because God is my Lord and Savior and I'm living in His will. You know what I'm saying? I'm living His will. I'm doing my best to, you know, follow the commandments. And it's not because I feel like I'm forced to. It's just a better life. He's not asking anything from us that is not good for us. This is good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you not want to protect your temple? You know, why would you want to go sleep around with a million different people? Not saying you're doing that, but why would you want to just give your body up just so loosely? Just because you're talking to somebody. Okay, I like them, I'm talking to them, so, you know, I'm feeling them and this led to this and this is what's up. Whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, everybody goes through these stages in their life. You know, most people do. But it's not too late to like grab hold of your life and realize like God only wants us to value ourselves. That's all, you know what I'm saying? And honor Him because technically this is the body that He created. You know, God lives inside of you. You know what I'm saying? Once you are saved, God lives inside of you. Just keep that in mind. Like, He's not asking anything that's gonna harm you or hurt you. It's only gonna better you for the good. The Bible does say that we'll still go through hard times and we'll have to endure rough moments. But like I told you guys, that's a part of your testimony. Things can't just be perfect because what story do you have to tell if things are just so perfect? But it gives you a sense of comfort and peace knowing that God is by your side. Like, knowing that all I have to do is pray and talk to God. It will give you a crazy comfort. And then allow yourself those few moments to sit back in silence and just listen for Him. Sometimes you might not hear anything. Sometimes you might hear one word. Maybe it'll be one sentence. It might be a lot. Write it down. You know what I'm saying? Or do whatever it is He tells you to do. If God commands you to do something, do it. I promise you. He commanded me to talk about my mental health stuff, y'all. And that's why I'm so open with doing it. Like, I have no shame. I have no fear. I don't care about the judgment that will come from what I've been through, because who are you to judge me? You know, because I'm gonna save a whole bunch of people if we can share this video and get it out, because it doesn't have to be sent to a particular person that, you know, is going through this. Just share it to your public platform that you have, because I promise you somebody will resonate with this. You know what I'm saying? If you can save a life, why not? And I wrote here that we should, you know, take His hand that He has stretched out and cry on His shoulder if we need to. You know, because sometimes you need to imagine, because, you know, since it is all spiritual, sometimes it's hard for us to imagine that God is with us, you know, because it is in the spiritual sense. It's not physical. It's not like, you know, we can see our brother or our sister or a parent, if they're still with us, you know, physically, and hug them and hold their hand and cry in their lap. Like, it's not the same thing, but you can imagine. When I read, I imagine things like what I'm reading. I imagine it. Like, I can paint the picture in my head. When I start to think about like just God wrapping his arm around me, or having his hand stretched out like this, and then just me holding it. I don't know. It hits different, y'all. It just feels good. He will always be with us, and he will always be there to guide us, and we just need to listen. Because if you're not listening and you just are so caught up in the busyness, you might lose and miss out on some of your blessings, and you might lose the direction that he's trying to show you. So just tap into that and understand how important that is, honestly, to listen to God and follow his way. You guys want to know what's so crazy? I accidentally clicked something on my notes, and look what the check mark checked off. He fully healed me from my mental illness. Like, I have a full healing. And like I said, you still might have dark moments. Just because you're sad doesn't mean you're depressed. Just because you're having a rough day does not mean depression. Let's stop putting these words on things. My aunt helped me with that. Shout out to Aunt Nicole. You know, all my family has helped me and gave me advice, but this is popping in my head right now. She was like, well, why does it have to be that? Because I would tell her I'm going through this, I'm going through that, and I just don't want it to be this, you know, because I was tapering off my meds at that time. And she was like, well, why does it have to be that? She was like, why can't it just be a bad day? Why can't it just be a bad moment, you know? And she's so right. Your family that's placed in your life, a lot of your family, God placed them there to be with you during rough times like this. Just anytime. Don't be scared to call on a friend or a family member, y'all. That's tea right there. Like, y'all really gotta, I don't like asking for help either. You know what I'm saying? More so, like, I don't like asking people for things or money and things like that. Don't be afraid to ask people for just advice or a shoulder to lean on, you know, because sometimes you do want that physical. Sometimes it's hard to think in the spiritual, and I get that. So, you know, do what you have to do to get that comfort, to not feel alone, okay? Oh, the reason why I wanted to go out to the trails and the nature spot that I was at, the nature park we went to, after I went through what I went through in the first week of like my depression and my bad anxiety, I was still going through it. I was trying to figure out what was wrong with me. The hospital had sent me away, basically asked me if I had hardcore drugs off the street and all this bull crap. So yeah, I was going through a lot. It was really depressive, guys, and it was dark, but I knew nature made me happy, and I knew the trails made me happy, and I knew like God's creation just makes me happy. Like, it's something about the nature that does something to me. It's just different. I've always loved the beach. I've always loved the trails. Well, I didn't find the trails until college, but ever since I found them, I fell in love with them. Bodies of water, the skies, the sunsets, the clouds, the wind, the rain. I love it all, okay? That's the place that I went, and that was the last time I went, actually. I went there, and I was going through a lot. I had lost a lot of weight. I was trying to do my weight loss and stuff, but it was because of anxiety. My heart rate was high. You lose a lot of weight, you know what I'm saying? And I was sick. I wasn't eating. It was just bad. And I went out there with Ava, and it gave me a sense of peace. And even though I wasn't thinking about God then, because like I told y'all, like back in the day before I got saved, God was not up here in my mind. Like, I believed that there was a God, but I didn't know the history. I didn't know the gospel. I didn't know anything. To just know that, like, even in that place, even though I didn't realize it then, like, God was right there. Like, that nature that was there comforting me, like, that was God. But it gave me a sense of peace when I was out there. So that's big. I don't know, that just hits me different. But it's just a good feeling to know that God loves you, because he does. He loves you. He loves you. He loves you. He loves you. And he loves me. He loves all of us. Okay, I don't know, I'm just glad he gave me this, you know, the urge to make this video, because I hope it resonates with somebody. And I hope that you guys can start turning to God more, praying, get a mentor. I'm still learning everything. You know, I can't wait till I'm like way further in my faith, in my walk, where I can really like help people a lot more. I can give you guys what I have, inspiring, encouraging words, and just tell you guys to keep going and don't give up. Pray, invite God in. You know, I'm gonna drop a few more scriptures towards the end of this, and probably like throughout it. You've probably seen some scriptures already, but just to kind of help you guys. Also download the Bible app, and there's a lot of Bible plans that will help y'all. You can do them with friends. Add me on the Bible app. I will drop my Bible app name, username on here. Send me plans. I will do them with you. I don't care how many I have going. Well, actually, I do care. probably can only do 2 or 3 max at a time. I love you guys, and thank you for tuning into this video. Share it to a friend, tell a friend to tell a friend. If you thought that this was inspiring, just thank you for watching, you know, and like, comment, and subscribe because Ju knows the vibes, okay? But yeah, this video is just letting you guys know that I'm blessed to say that I can add to my testimony that God has gave me a full healing of things that the doctor would tell you is not curable. So sometimes when they say something is incurable, you have to remember that there's a thing called faith that allows miracles to happen. So never forget that. But I love you guys. I don't want to end the video because I'm just feeling good. Like, I don't know, it's because I got my hair washed or I got my eyebrows done, or it's because God gave me a word. We're gonna go with God gave me a word. That's why, baby, okay? But anyways, enough with the goofiness. Like, comment, and subscribe. I love you guys. Pray and love life and love God. And drop any prayer requests in the chat. And if you're too scared to like drop the request, if you don't want to drop it publicly, you guys can definitely DM me on Instagram, but comment on here that you guys DM me on Instagram so I know to go look at my message requests, and also, you know, let me know like your username and stuff. But I love you guys, and I hope you guys have a blessed night, and thank you for watching the channel. Bye. Love you guys.